Welcome to Terrific Talk. I'm your host, Tom Anderson. A beautiful day here from the Hoboken Studios in New Jersey. Thanks for checking out the podcast, whether you're listening on iTunes, Stitcher, or straight off the free CLNS Media app. It's great to be with you. Quick programming note this week. I don't know if you noticed, but Philadelphia sports are on fire. As much as that pains me to say, being a New York sports fan, you got the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, Villanova national champions. The Phillies are hot, and there's no team hotter right now than the Philadelphia 76ers, who look like they have a franchise dynasty in the making. Ben Simmons right now, obviously playing out of his mind. Can he sustain this throughout the playoffs? We shall see. But it is an amazing time to be a Philadelphia sports fan. So I caught up with a big-time Philadelphia sports writer, David Murphy of the Philadelphia Daily News. We talked what it's like covering a city that is this hot right now. We talked about his career and how he's gotten to where he's gotten. We talked about whether Markelle Fultz is going to be a difference maker in these playoffs. I think he might be. We talked a whole bunch of stuff, so go check out that podcast, Terrific Talk with David Murphy. And today I've got another really great guest. This guy is the king of radio in New York, Don Greca. He's big time here, and this was a fun podcast to do. I've been trying to get him for a while. We finally were able to make our schedules work, so I'm really excited for you guys to hear this. Here right now is Don Greca on Terrific Talk. But first, where's my music?
Sound going crazy!
Terrific Talk Podcast. Welcome back, Terrific Talk Podcast.
Here comes the host!
I'm your host, Tom Anderson.
First, behind the back! It gets to Buckner! Here comes Knight, and the Knicks win it! Back.
All right, welcome to Terrific Talk. I've got a great guest today. Don Greca is the co-host of ESPN New York's The Michael Kay Show. He's a play-by-play announcer for the New York Rangers, host of the Game Misconduct podcast. It's awesome to have him on today. Let me bring him in here. Don Greca, welcome to Terrific Talk.
Oh, listen, it's my pleasure, man.
So, first question off the bat, I want to know, when and why did you decide you wanted to be a sportscaster?
Well, I go back to listening to Met games when I was a kid. I was always fascinated by radio, even more than television. And listening to Met games and Bob Murphy, just trying to understand how all that worked. And then when I went to high school, my senior year of high school, they had electives, and I chose communications, and I won the communication award. So I said, all right, well, that's pretty good. Maybe I'll take that in college. I wanted to play baseball, and I was on the baseball team. And I got cut my freshman year, so I walked right to the radio station and figured if I couldn't play it, maybe I could cover it. And that was back in early 1987. So went to college and did a heavy metal radio show and covered sports. And then I got my first job at Sports Phone, and the rest is kind of history. But it really kind of got started from just a frustrated baseball player who couldn't play it, so decided maybe it's good to talk about it, and here we are.
You mentioned being frustrated as a baseball player. Have there been times in your career as a broadcaster where you got down on yourself and maybe wanted to do something else?
Well, I never, ever wanted to do anything else but this. But the story that I tell young kids, and maybe this can inspire them, I was working at Sports Phone, and this was probably 1992. And I was working part-time at Sports Phone, and I lived in North Jersey, and Sports Phone was out in Elmont, Long Island, so it cost like $11 in tolls, and it was a 35-minute ride without traffic, and it was almost never a situation where there wasn't traffic, so I was probably spending more money to go there than actually work, and I had no money, and it was right around, it was football season of 92, and I was in a football pool. And I think the Oilers were playing the Eagles on Monday Night Football. And if I forget who covered, I would have won like $50. And I was dreaming about winning the $50 so I could put gas in my tank.
Right.
So I could pay some bills. And whoever it was didn't cover. And I remember going home and like kicking my door in. And I was living with my parents at the time and throwing stuff around my room. I was just so frustrated because I just couldn't make ends meet. And I wasn't sure if this was working. My father came downstairs and he said, listen, he gave this sports thing a good run. I work at PSC&G. Come with me to work tomorrow. We'll fill out an application and start making some money. He'd been working there for like 35 years at the time, and he's like, get you a $60,000 a year job, and that kind of blew me away because I was like 3 times as much money I was making in sports phone. And I said, Dad, I just can't do it. I put too much time, too much work into this thing. And if I go work at PSE&G and make that kind of money, I'll never follow through again. I'll just be happy with making the money. And not that there's anything wrong with that kind of a living, but I wanted to do something else. I didn't want to work. I didn't want a job. I wanted a career. I wanted to love what I did. And I knew I wouldn't love what I did. I would just love the money. So I said no. And then luckily things started to happen and got more work and got more opportunity. And I look back at that, and if I had just said, sure, Dad, and I would have gotten the job because he had been there for so long, and I would have worked at PSE&G, and I'd be a 50-year-old guy, with a family, and worked at PSE&G and had a nice life. But it would have been a job every day instead of having a career. So I'm so glad I said no.
Great decision. That's an amazing story, inspiring. We're talking with ESPN New York's Don LaGreca. Don, what's the best part of working on the Michael Kay Show to you?
Just the people. I mean, Michael and Peter are great guys, and Andrew and RJ, who work behind the scenes, are just great people, and I consider them family. So when the work gets tough or frustrating, just to know that those guys are like members of my family. We've all been to each other's houses, and we've all spent so much time away from work together. That makes it feel good. That you come into work every day, and you just know that the people that are there are great people. So that's what makes it so much fun.
To you, what makes good radio?
Just when the people that are on it, their personality shows. I don't care what you talk about, because let's face it, that's fickle, right? We come off a winter where Rangers and Islanders are awful, and the Knicks and Nets are awful, and neither football team made the playoffs, and there's not a lot going on. The best shows are the shows that even when it's dead, it's still interesting to listen to, and the reason is because the personalities of the hosts come through. Whether you like them or love them or hate them, you listen because of them. So no matter what the topic is, you just want to listen to their opinion and about their life. I think that's what makes good radio. I don't think you listen for the topic as much as you listen for the people that are giving it to you. They've got so many choices. You can't help but find a station that's talking sports between satellite radio now and the internet. But you choose our show, or you choose whatever show you listen to, because you just really feel good about the people that are giving it to you. And that's what we hope to do, is that you get to know me and what I am on the air, what Michael is on the air, what Peter is on the air. That's what we are. So you like us or hate us based on that. And that's when I know the show's really working.
Quick break to talk about Hims, a new wellness brand for men. Did you know that 66% of men lose their hair by age 35? The thing is, when you start to notice hair loss, it's too late. And it's easier to keep the hair you have than to replace the hair you've lost. Don't worry guys, there's a solution now. 4hims.com, a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness for men. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. Summer's coming. I'm trying not to get sunburn on my head. I'm trying it out, and it's super easy. There's no waiting room, no awkward doctor's visits. You save hours by going to 4hims.com. You answer a few quick questions. The doctor will review it, and then they prescribe you. Products are shipped directly to your door. It's that easy. And order now. My listeners get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now while supplies last. See website for full details. This would cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or pharmacy. Go to 4hims.com/terrific. That's 4hims.com/terrific. 4hims.com/terrific. Go try 4hims today. 4hims.com. Now back to Don LaGreca. You've had a pretty busy day today. Could you take us through what today has been like? I know you did the podcast, your radio show. You were working on Westwood 1, covering the Sharks Ducks tonight. What has today been like for you as an example?
Well, it's different than it was with the twins. I got 4-month-old twins, so that changes everything. So kind of get up when they get up, and you diaper them, and you feed them, and you get ready for the day. And then I go down and I do the podcast. So luckily, I love hockey so much that I know what's already going on. So it's not like I have to do much homework. I'm following the games every night anyway.
Yeah.
Do the podcast and then hurry up, get to work. Come in for the show meeting usually around 2:30 and talk about the hot topics and what we're going to open with and where we're going to go. We do the show. And then today I'm going to sit here at the station and watch the games because I got to go to Westwood to 10:15 pregame for Ducks and Sharks. But normally it's drive home and have dinner with the wife late because I won't get home until after 8 o'clock and watch all the games and kind of start it all over the next day. People ask me about prep. There's not much prep for me because it's my life, no matter what I was doing. Even if I took that job at PSC&G, I'd be watching as much sports as I'm watching now. So believe me, that's not hard to do. So I try to stay on top of things because just out of the entertainment of it more than preparing for the show.
You mentioned the Twins. First off, congratulations. How
Thank you.
have you been able to balance your busy work schedule with Twins and a family? How do you make that work?
Well, having an understanding wife that's able to pick up a lot of the slack, and also sacrificing things, which usually ends up being sleep because they kind of dictate the schedule. But I always wondered that myself. I always marveled at people with kids. Like, how do they come up with the energy? How do they find the time to do it? And you just do it. It just, the instincts kick in, and it's an easy thing to do. It's exhausting, it's tiring, it's frustrating at times, but it's still the greatest thing in the world to do. So it makes it just so much fun, just every day, getting them to look or coo, or I can't wait till the first time they talk and the first time they walk. And I want to be there for a lot of it. And it's one of the reasons I had given up the Jets gig, because I wanted to kind of make sure that I had at least some weekend free for the kids. But you just find a way to do it. It's just, if it's meant to be, it's in your soul, and it becomes the hardest thing to do in the world and the easiest thing in the world at the same time. It's hard to explain, but it's a lot of fun.
It's amazing. As an outsider, it looks like you're doing a great job. Don, this was great. Everybody make sure to check Don out on ESPN Radio, the Yes Network. Follow him on Twitter. His Twitter handle is @DonLaGreca. Don, thanks again. You were great.
Oh, it's my pleasure.